Saturday morning. We have a lot to discuss here. We're going to try to stay a little more laser focused on XRP today. I'm going to go over Axelar as well because, like I said, I'm trying to layer into Axelar. And during the 12% peak, there's nothing you can do. But now it's pulled back 9.5%. So I see Kryptonians in here. So I'm going to go over that one again to continue because if this is a small bear flag or something more, or if it holds this consolidation, it's two kind of different formations there. But XRP, for anybody who was in the live last night, real quick, we went over that rising channel that XRP fell outside of. And yes, we're still inside of our consolidation, so we'll go over that. What was formed after we fell outside of the rising channel. So that's going to be something that's going to be pretty important here this morning. So definitely don't be like, oh, XRP and the channel I'm going to put back on, but we did fall outside of a rising channel. But like I said, that's not the end all be all yet, but that does drive the volatility because you lost a set designated zone. But it's to be expected. It's to be expected. XRP was coming up. And it came up for a while on that same formation. And for anybody who was in the live, sorry if I don't get to all the comments right here, right off the bat. I want to do this in real time so that for anybody who wasn't in the live, you can at least see what we were talking about last night. I think that's too far. What the hell? Even if we say it was like that, I think it was more like that, yeah. And it really did form. It formed it really nicely, too. But I would probably, I like to do it like this so that you don't go too far outside of what it was really at. But we were definitely in some kind of a channel. And then when we came outside of it, we talked about it last night that technically could drop the price, but until it falls outside of this, what could be a very bullish consolidation. I updated it a little bit yesterday, but I'm trying to refine it for what we actually see in front of us. But if this holds, this would bring us up to $3.44 on a breakout. And then we talked about the breakdown yesterday. If it were to, for whatever reason, fall out, that is $2.85. So that gets you really close to that $2.60 area. So now you kind of work it down. But anyhow, that's what we formed out of here. So we just have to at least be cautious to the fact that there was a rising channel. We filled our technical target on the money. Like we legitimately filled that to $3.40. And if it breaks out of this, then we could start talking about super bullish continuation. Because if you look at this, I'm going to use this now that we filled our pattern. If this is a flag and a pull now, and you technically break out of this consolidation bullish, and you have to measure from the flag at the end of it, do you see how this is starting to add up? This is how we get some of these targets from before, and now look how they're starting to materialize. We did this last night, and now that's $4.19. If this were to play out, and then the flagpole plays out. Now, however, if this is a rising channel and it plays down, you often come back to where it started. So, you're talking about a pretty steep, and I don't think it would come all the way back down, even if this happened to there. Possible, well, you never know. But I think you'd be coming down to that $2.60 mark at least. So it's just something to, at least acknowledge within what you're seeing. Oh, I should probably keep this arrow up here, though, just so we can see where the technical target was. It was $3. I'm going to put it in white. But that was the technical target out of the pennant, just so we remember that we filled that out already. Because we got to remember we filled that out. And it actually came from right here. But I put it over here just so it's easier to see. But we filled it out, every bit of it. So now it's this consolidation. And we know we have the fair value gap at $2.60. We had that rising channel. So you want to have all the information on your board. It's just as honest as I can be. Just like that, the uptrending support that was formed on the cycle uptrend. You want to keep it on the board so that when it gets to meet again, because this started back here in November. What is that? November 9th. So that started November 9th. So eventually we're going to meet that area. And then we'll know how super bullish we are if we're in need for a bigger consolidation if we got rejected. And right now in real time, you just got to keep kind of pulling this price target up because we don't know where it's going to end up being. Now it would be about all-time highs. Now if it meets that area, it's about all-time highs. So it's pretty interesting what's starting to build here. It is pretty interesting what it is starting to build here, if you ask me. Look, you could even... Man, oh man, is it getting interesting. It is getting interesting. At least to me it is. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are starting to build here. And what's interesting is what's coming up on the 20th. Anybody? What's coming up on the 20th? Mr. Pesci, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Please talk about Trump's meme coin through Solana at $30. Nah, no offense, but I seen the meme token, but the last time Trump put out a meme token, it went up like ungodly amount and then cut by 90%. So like, I just don't talk about meme tokens. Trump, Biden, Harris, the meme tokens don't do anything for me. But, I mean, maybe. But I might, who knows? I'm sure everybody else is. I mean, everyone is buying Solana to get the meme. Oh, that makes sense. That's actually, you know what? That's actually a good correlation there with Solana. That's true. That's very true because it's on Solana's ecosystem. So you'd have to, that's very true. That could drive a lot of liquidity in that direction. I like that observation. It's an illusion. $2 donation. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that and being in Tom's army as well. I see a bunch of people in Tom's army. Planetary alignment energy. People will hail Emperor Trump. I mean, it's one way to look at it. But anyhow, I got to stay more focused today because honestly, I'm not doing like whenever I cover something and my very audience always tells me I'm here to watch you do XRP. You're not here to watch me do the Trump meme coin. I'm sure you can go to every other station who's trying to get views. You know, I like to kind of stay with what I know and not jump into the hot topic. I have a very focused mindset when I do my kind of much like I don't watch the news. I honestly really couldn't care less about that kind of stuff if I'm just being honest. So anyhow, XRP, if this little formation breaks out here, it has a short-term consolidation that leads us up to about $3.44, which is important because it could get us out of the cycle top right now at $3.40. And then obviously if we get over that, that's when you can start making a little bit of a dent. And this, we don't really need that. It's just, this is the updated up to 344. It's if it would have broke up a little higher. But now we've broken outside of this little channel. So it's fine. That's what happens. And a lot of times, isn't a channel just forming the consolidation to form a flag? And then if it's bullish, it just breaks up and over that channel anyhow or back within it. That's what I mean. Like, most of the time, that's what happens. And if this, let's just say this played out 100% true. Right? So you have the channel, right? 100% true. And depending on where it breaks out, let's say it breaks out here. You see how you get back on top of that? And then you could back test that as a support structure. So that's why I always say the channel is not the end all be all until you break outside of that little flag consolidation to the downside. Then it's a different ball game, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put this here just so we can see easier. But then it's a different ball game because if it breaks down, and I got to do the intro still, I understand that. But I had a lot to talk about on the XRP chart to start. I don't even know how many people are in here. I really don't even care. I just want to make sure that everybody who wants to be here, or at least that's here, gets to see this before I get into everything else. So then obviously if it goes like this and it breaks down, then you have to start giving some consideration because then you can see a head formation very clearly, like one of those Batman or Bart Simpson tops almost. And that's why you have to do something like that. Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. That's the whole point of a meme token. If you guys want to know where this will head at in the end, go look at the last what Trump had on the stock market. Go see what that thing did and see what it ended up doing after. That's what ends up happening to them all. They call them memes for a reason. They have no purpose. The cannabis puffing XRP analyst. I mean, if that's all you see me as. But I like cannabis. I think it offers a lot of good stuff, so I'll take that proudly. Remember, money always finds its way to utility in the end. It always does. Like when they sell out of these meme tokens, it doesn't just go to money heaven. You know? The money's not just disappearing. It ends up going to it finds its way into utility. Just like in the stock market or the bond market. It always finds yield. Money always finds yield in the end. It goes to where it can compound itself. And in this case, a meme token, it'll go there to seek yield when it's right, only because there's money flowing. But once that liquidity dries up, it's leaving and it's going to find proper yield. It happens every single time. And in this case, because we're in the crypto sphere, it'll leave the meme of the Trump token. Most of you will be rug pulled and won't even realize it because Trump owns 80% of it. I've done my research. And then it'll end up finding yield within utility tokens. It always does. Like Trump will probably throw that money into utility tokens. It's not a secret. That's just what they do. They steal from us and they make their independent wealth greater. I like Trump, but I'm just saying what reality is. So anyhow, good morning. 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, January 18th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Do you find it any mere coincidence that crypto's tanking after the Trump token was released? And all this remember, money has to find yield somewhere, and it has to come from somewhere. So if everybody's pumping up the Trump token, and that's where a bunch of crypto liquidity is going, when Trump owns 80% of the token, it's finding its way out of our cryptocurrencies to go fund that. I guarantee it. If you don't think so, I think you're not on the right understanding. So for everybody who's, let's pump and dump this pile of shit, they're taking yield from you. You're losing money because of it. Every single time they put one of these out, and this just happens to be Trump's token, but I'd like Trump, so I don't want to bash him. It's just the way the cryptosphere works. But that's what ends up happening. Money's finding its way out of our market. It's not by coincidence. Do you think it's by coincidence that it's released on a 3-day weekend or a 4-day? Well, basically the stock market's closed on Monday too. So, and the ETF. So do you think it's by design that it would be released on a holiday lengthened weekend? Unfortunately, the more stuff that's adding up, we're being led to a slaughter right now. And we're preaching for the choir. That's the worst thing we can possibly do. We're preaching for our own slaughter right now. Anyhow, Mr. Pashi, thanks for the $2 donation. That's what I was trying to say, what you just said. I was trying to figure out what you said. That's why I said, you made me think deeper. At first, I thought you were just pushing the token, but then I'm like, wait a minute. I got to read this deeper. So then when I started, that's why I said sorry at first, because I was like, I know what you're trying to say after. You know, no, I know. I should know better, Mr. Pesci. I've known you long enough. After all, I don't need you coming in here and, you know. I always say Joe Pesci's in the house. Trump is the new Doge. I mean, Axelar is not bad. JP Morgan. If you believe in that side, but typically when JP Morgan does something, he doesn't want the masses to get rich. It's usually a siphoning scheme in some way, fashion, or form. So we'll just see how it plays out. I don't know how high it's going to go. We talked about it. Filled my target up at that 1.8 and it went a little bit over. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I stick within the ISO and the IoT framework for a reason. If you want to divulge a little bit more, you can certainly go outside the scope. Like, look, this is what I'm saying. Money is finding its way into other things, and now people are dumping out of smaller ecosystems. This is what happens, and I keep saying, what if this is front running the rest of the market? And VELO is literally imploded. That's a 35% correction. It even fell back within. It fell back within. Oh yeah, they're all, this is what I mean. They're all giving it back. I got rid of AMP again. I got in and out of it so quickly because it's on BITUNIX. Anything I'm on BITUNIX, like once it broke this up, it's not because I want to, it's just because certain things, but I can get in and out of, but like all the other stuff that I hold, it's sitting through this drop right now, and it's going to not be pretty. It's not going to be pretty because money's finding its way out of this market right now to fund exactly what you guys are talking about in my chat. So if you want to be part of all of that, continue to buy all those meme shits, you know, and keep perpetrating it. But I choose not to go down that road. I hate it. I hate it. The easiest way for them to scam us is these damn fucking meme tokens. No offense to all my meme traders who are getting rich. But look at this on Jasmine. Like, oh, another thing you have to pay attention to is don't get caught up because it's falling. By no means am I saying this is bearish. Just sell before inauguration. No. Trump running up a 20 billion market cap and him rugging it on Monday would be real poetic justice. It would be so American. Yep. But I'm telling you, don't give up on this market right now. Because everybody's going to be talking about that. Everybody. We're going to stay focused. See what people are losing focused on? Hey, Jasmine's down 11.7%, but it's really in the back testing phase. You know, or a lot of these are going to be in the same exact phase. Like, are we really breaking down? Are we breaking up? What are we really doing? This is the most important time on the chart. Even if you wanted to go from a speculation like this, it's the most important time on the chart right now. On all of these. But everybody's paying it. Like, that's all I've seen. Trump. Once I woke up, I heard all these people talking about the Trump fucking... It's like, can we, as an American, when we have the biggest transfer of wealth ever happening right now, can we stay focused, please, one time, as Americans, as a people, not just Americans, but we're amongst the stupidest people you can meet. No offense to my fellow Americans, I am an American, so isn't that an indictment on me? We're amongst the stupidest people you'll meet because we are the most influenced by our government. We are. It holds no bounds. We say all the cool stuff, but my fellow Americans are pussies. No offense. 100% pansies. And I'm not going to say any more than that. So I'm going to stay focused and keep it on the positivity. So, but it's by design though. We're not intentionally stupid or dumb or pansies. It's just by predictive programming, you know, the TV and the news and what they want you to think. How social media, it makes us the way we are. But you got to rise above. So we need to stay on our focus. So that's how I would look at it with Jasmine. If it can hold the first layer, good. But it could technically come down here still. Opportunities, though, if you are looking at things that you appreciate. Now, you know, I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it again. Our targets have not been filled. They have not been filled. XRP's all the way up at $5.39. Has not been filled. Lonzo. It will go right back into everything. Yep, that's what I'm trying to get at. So all this money that's being pulled out of these tokens to fund that market cap right now, because, you know, it's the next big thing, right? It's all going to find its way back. Did anybody notice Bitcoin just went down and dipped and then just it kind of ate itself back up? Did anybody pay attention to this? Just over the last several hours, Bitcoin had a dip down to 102,000 roughly, 102,260. It just very measly pulled itself back over 104K basically. Like, something tells me I changed from VELO to DGB. Unfortunately, wrong decision at the moment. Why is that? Why is it the wrong? Because DGB's down 8.7% today. I mean, it all depends where you bought it from, my friend. One could argue you made the right decision. What do you mean? VELO's down unless you had VELO. Yeah, I was going to say VELO from just yesterday. I was going to say I don't understand because DGB's down 8%, but it was up 6.8 yesterday. To whereas the last 2 days, VELO's down 31%. But then again, I don't know where you bought it and things like that. But anyhow, I'm enjoying seeing this because when there's fear, remember, fear is an opportunity until the bull market ends. And right now, can I ask you guys a question? XRP down 10 cents at $3.20. Does it feel like the bull market's over right now? Or does it feel like if you look at it on the all-time charts, let's go through it, does that look bullish as hell for XRP? Oh, it sure does. For XLM, does this look bullish as hell? Oh my God, that's a huge bull flag, right? So let me give you the voice reason. DGB, big bull flag. So you might feel short-term like you made a wrong decision on something. Let it play out, okay? Just let it play out. XDC, see how it broke out of that massive consolidation? This is what some of them are starting to follow. XDC, believe it or not, is ahead in a lot of ways. XRP ahead in a lot of ways. DGB behind. XLM behind. It's behind. Look how big that flagpole is on XLM. I keep saying I think XLM is going to outdo XRP. Look at that flag. I mean the pole. XRP's pole is massive, but look where it's at. XRP's already come up some. XLM hasn't even started that process yet. That's what I'm trying to get at. You haven't missed nothing yet. In the totality, if you just look at the all-time chart. So until that changes, I don't care what the minute charts look like. Look at ZIL. ZIL is so undervalued right now. V-Chain is just starting to push up. H-bar, again, H-bar is one that's breaking up already. So some of them are already starting. So some, when people are like, oh, these ones are not the good buys, but that one is. Sometimes when people tell me they buy this over that, I look and I'm like, I just can't see it. H-bar's already moved that much. And then I look at one like, I don't know, XLM. They can clearly see the bull flag hasn't even started to break out yet. Or like DGB, you can clearly see it hasn't started to break out yet. Like there's so many of them. And then you go up to like Algo. Algo. It's like nobody talks Algo for some reason. Some do. Look at Algo. That bull flag hasn't even begun to break out yet. And we know Algo was plus $3 at its all-time highs. And I have 20,000 tokens that I've been sitting on that I have no plans on getting rid of it. None. Zero. Zilch. And look where that bull flag will target. It will target way up here when it's done. I'm telling you. That bull flag's from like 8 cents all the way up to almost 60 or 50. Do the same math. 50 back up to $3 at plus. At least the 250. I can't believe that I own 20,000 Algo. I really can't. And at the price we got it, well under 20. And we were trading it from 8 and up and back and 10 and up. I can't believe where I'm sitting on Algo. Because I remember when it was at $3 a couple years ago, and I'm like, man, I just can't. I know it's going to come down 90%, but it looks crazy. It came down farther. Algo, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Don't even put them in the same category. I would sell my Jasmine that I only have 1,400 I bought. $1,400 worth. I would buy Algo. I might as well just sell that $1,400 worth of Jasmine and just put it in Algo. Like, I'm considering that very hardcore because, again, Jasmy's a Chinese company or Japanese. It's on that side of the world. Oh, we'll keep going over XRP. I'm trying to make a point here with these massive bull flags. Patience is a virtue. And also, not getting caught up on the next big thing is also so very important. Now, let's look at Jasmy. Ooh. Inverted hammer. Possible reversal candle. But that's a long sideways consolidation. You know, IOTA too, yes. Yes. IOTA. Absolutely IOTA. Forgot to click on it. It's just because of certain things and certain ways of getting IOTA, I have taken the alternative route these days, and I've went with IOTX for not I love IOTA and I want IOTA, but because of the exchange oh my god. XRP healthcare, look at that fucking bull flag in the all-time chart. I forgot about that. It's down 10%, but are you worried about that? Look at the size of that inverted hammer on the candle before. Are we kidding me right now? Oh my god. Does anybody else see that before I change this chart? Kyle, love this channel. Search for your reviews every day. Nice work. I appreciate that, Kyle. And yeah, Japanese. Yeah, Japanese for Jasmy. But I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to let it ride. I have 40,000. I'm happy with where I got it. I'm just going to see what happens. Yeah, I'm sorry, but XRP Healthcare is like it's the one that I can see as the biggest sleeping giant in the history of the ecosystem on XRP. And the fact that it can be down 10.7% today and we're still up over 1,000, well, 1,100, I don't even know what it's at this point, 1,000, 1,100%, depending on how you count it, because I bought it around 1.7 and I ended at 2.2 the last. But anyhow, I have 5,500 and something that I got for free staking. So if I do 60,000 divided by the amount of money I spent, it shows me like 1 point. You guys know how that works because if you get free tokens, but this one only, I don't want to get stuck on XRP Healthcare again, but that is like you'll see the glimmer in my eye every time I look at XRP Healthcare because I know what it is. I know what it is. I can just see it. And it's going to take time. But I mean, it feels a lot different being at 23 cents than it did at 2.5 cents, right? Like now imagine the next time when it's sitting at 50 and then we're like, man, I don't know. This is crazy. You can buy it on, so there's a couple different ways. If you have the Zaman wallet, you can buy it, or how we found success outside of using Zaman, the only way, because we used to buy it on MEXC. I haven't bought it in a long time. For transparency, like I said, my average is around 2 cents. But Albank is where we found success buying and selling it outside of Zaman, if you want to do it that way, if you don't have a Zaman wallet. But you have to do it by the app, otherwise it's not going to work for some reason. And then if you're interested, these are all the exchanges that I trade on. BITUNIX, when I don't want anybody to see what I'm doing, no KYC exchange. And then I'll simply just, once I'm done using it, I'll put it in Tether and send it over to my actual like crypto.com to put it back into real money on my crypto debit card. Or if I buy stuff on there, I even will buy it on BITUNIX. A lot of times I just buy myself on BITUNIX and then I send it to crypto.com because the fees are a lot more on crypto.com. They're minute on BITUNIX. And then when I want to sell something, I'll simply send it from crypto.com to BITUNIX. That's what I'm saying. You have to have a exchange that's a no KYC and has low fees. And this has the lowest possible maker-taker and leverage and spot trading fees. It's the best decision I ever made was go on that exchange and have crypto.com because that's my tax purposes and that's how I can, get my money out of crypto if I need to get it off the exchanges in a simplistic way. They have FDIC insurance for anything in USD and yada, 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 so on and so forth. Yeah, for anybody who can help with the Zaman, there's a bunch of people that are much more knowledgeable because I don't buy it on Zaman. I haven't bought it there, but there's a lot of people that are very knowledgeable in the comments. Where is the trust line for Zane? Do you like any other XRP memes other than XRP healthcare? Yeah, I do. I like Corium and Solo. I've always liked them. I think I've been a 5 and 6. What is it? 500 and no, it's either 5 or 600 million total circulating supply with one and the other, or 6 and 700 million. But I'm a really big fan of Corium. I'm a very big fan of Solo. Like, I like Flare, don't get me wrong. It's just they give you free tokens every month just for holding XRP. And not like all these assholes say. It's just, if you're on an exchange, they do automatic screenshots and you'll get it. One of the few perks Uphold had is they did the automatic screenshot for you. But no. I don't really get into the XRP burn rate. Because for me, I don't want them burning tokens. Honestly. A minute amount gets burned all the time through each transaction. But I don't want them burning tokens. The bigger picture for XRP is they need those tokens because they're going to utilize them in a fashion. XRP is really going to be the world banking money. It's just not in the way people think. You're not going to go around with an XRP token, but it's going to be the bank's liquidity like I've been saying for fucking 4 years. Excuse my French. That's the whole point here. You're not going to get an XRP token and use it when you go into the store. But what's funding the banks, you can already see the partnerships. It is actually going to be XRP. That's why they need so many tokens. And if you don't have all those tokens, that means something's wrong. If they burn a quarter of them, it would make it pointless. But XLM, we're going to get into XLM. But Jack, thank you so much for that donation as well. I hope that helped. What about XCN? That's a JP Morgan token. That's not even... If you're talking about something with alliance to Ripple, Axelar now is one of my... I've become a fan of now because of Kryptonian reading through it. It's absolutely linked with Ripple. JP Morgan, it's linked to other things. But man, you want to talk about a beating that something's taken. Look at VELO. You want to talk about cash finds its way into something else and needs to draw from something. Man, oh man, that's a disrespectful tone here towards VELO. It absolutely failed to break out 100%. But it doesn't mean it's over. It just, now we're going to have to look at it from a higher perspective, like this. Yep. You can't even look at the lower now because it's formed a rising, it's creating higher highs and higher lows. That's a bullish pattern still. It's just, it's taking time. When this is a huge opportunity. You know what? I dare say I might do the no, I don't know. Hold on, let me look at something. I may do the ultimate FU right now to Japan. $30 billion, and Jasmine's what, about 90? Oh, 50 million, that's not too bad. Nah, I can't do the FU. I can't do the FU because I do need to see how that plays out. There's just simply too many times that the Lord has put that crypto into my chat that it's got to have some kind of relevance for what I'm doing. I already own 100,000 VELO, so it's not like I need to buy any more. And I bought it at 009, so I don't care what it does right now. I can do whatever it wants. But Axelar, while the price is still down here, I have 12,000 tokens now. I've just been adding up. I'm doing it on the 2x variety. So it came back down. It was down like 10 point something percent before I came on. I just keep buying this because of Kryptonian. When I did the deeper research, it's absolutely got a partner, or it's working. It's basically with Ripple. So there's ways when you try to look for connections. There's a very obvious one. And now it's creating higher lows and lower highs at the exact same time. These are bullish consolidations. And then you're just waiting for the breakout from and making a new higher high. We went through this with XRP for about, what, 3 weeks before it broke out? So, you just got to pay attention. Lower high. You got a high, lower high. So, remember I said I'm buying it within this consolidation. If it goes up, I don't buy, but if it comes back down, I do. So, I've been buying it, trying to buy it through the drop here. And it hasn't been that long I've known about it. So the lowest I could have possibly bought in was, somewhere in the mid 50s. I didn't get the chance back here because I didn't even really know about it until crypto. I didn't know about it. I thought it was a scam at first because of my chat. I got one that was similar in name, so I got it confused. But Kryptonian righted the ship. So I'm actually very happy. I don't know what I'm going to end up with. But every time I buy it, I have to remember it does twice as much because I'm doing it on a 2x variety. But yeah, I think there's something big building there for sure. I think $1.84 is not out of the question. And then ultimately, we'll see how it reacts if it breaks out of here. But even just to get back to the top side, to buy it towards the bottom of the consolidation, the top is at $1.05, even within a bearish move. So that's about 34% even from here. So, and it's come up about 2% since we started. But anyhow, that's just one that I would have never known about if I didn't do YouTube. See, that's what I mean. There's certain things that I would have never been pushed in that direction unless, obviously, I needed to trust the person who kept saying it. And Kryptonian's been here for so long that, you make friends in here. $1.84 on VELO? No. I didn't say that on VELO. But I mean, in time, VELO is going to have a huge... VELO is so undervalued right now. I'm not joking. It is so undervalued. VELO's been up here before. And if you ask me, it's just building a massive cup down here. So anybody who misses that, these low consolidations at the 1, 2, 3, 5 cent mark, and then it comes up here at $1.35. I'm telling you, VELO is going to be one of those. It did it in the other cycle. That it should shred. Well, no, you're not technically wrong because I think VELO will probably come up there one day. That's the funny part. Like, I didn't say it, but there's no reason not to say it. If that's a cup that I think it's actually forming right now, the bottom of it, and starting to round, it actually needs to come up to the dollar. It's a huge hot buy right now. I dare say that VELO might be the hottest buy on the market right now. One of them. Time I turned an old 401k after only a year of investing into it from 8K to 85. I've talked about this with 401ks when we were in the bear market and somebody actually listened. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I said I gave every reason why if you had a 401k, you could, and I'm not even going to divulge into it, but obviously you know what I was talking about and you did it and your 401k went from 8,000 to 85,000. I mean, that's life-changing. Now, you gotta protect that now, though. That's the thing. So, here's a piece of advice. What would your 401k be today at today's nominal rate? I'm just saying, right now. What would it have been? How much would you have in it? I'm going to tell you why this is important. Hell yeah. I love it. With the speculation bag of VELO. I mean, I think I'm going to send more money over there and buy more VELO. I have liquid cash.
It's coming down like your video.
Is that the snow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting heavy snow right now outside. Pulled money from his 401k and bought XRP. Excellent. Oh, oh my God. I tried to convince everybody I know, even my dad wasn't going for it, but I tried to convince everybody to do that, to do similar. And it didn't happen, unfortunately. Most people looked at me like I was a friggin' idiot. What do you mean? My financial advisor says this is the safe way. Yeah, safe, all right. Safe costs you 5, 6, 700% on that portfolio. Sometimes safe is not good. I say this all the time. Safe is not always the best way. Sometimes you have to show a little bit of testicular fortitude. But hey, we all want to be safe in our FANG stocks, right? And I'm XRP future millionaire, damn it. No, it is what it is, though. I mean, if you think about it, it is what it is. Most people, no, and it's not, it's just the way it is. It's literally just the way it is. So, well, hold on. I think I want to, I mean, I would kick myself if I didn't do this. So hold on. Because, I mean, there's opportunities that come up. And I just happen to be on the air right now. So I need to do this. And sometimes, you know, this is why we have the empty cash sitting around. Right? This is why we have cash just sitting there. Okay, so I'm going to do... And that leaves me with plenty there, so I'm happy about that. You guys know how it goes. I'm going to send some of my liquid cash that I've been storing. Because I have a nice amount. This is why I do it. And then, now we got to do... All right, I need to go to this exchange. Sorry, guys. I apologize, but this is important to me. But right now, plus, we're basically watching the chart here for XRP as well, you know, in the background. Hey, I've actually heard some people saying that about using their credit cards to get a cash advance to buy their crypto. I mean, you kind of do it however you can these days. Because the credit card, that's how I used to... I haven't put money on a crypto exchange in years now, but I built up a nice portfolio with side cash that I know, you know, there's always liquid cash that gets... It's about equal to my investment, usually. All right, so USDT. And I'm sending it through USDT. Always do it through Arbitron when you do it. Arbitron's quicker. And it only costs $1 no matter how much you send. So it works pretty damn well, in my opinion. And plus, I like sending tether to tether because it's like I'm sending my own money in a stable coin. You got USDC, I don't mind sending. It just takes longer sometimes. I don't know why that is, but it does. Add wallet. It's a tether. We are going to go through... Come on, you better have Arbitron. They do not have Arbitron to do it on here. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's see if I can do... Oh, man. That's fine. I'll just do it as an ERC. I hate supporting Ethereum in that regard. But that's okay. Now it's going to cost me... I don't know how much it's going to cost. Probably the same, but it's doing ERC now through Ethereum. But that's fine. Just got to make sure that it matches up. Otherwise, if you send it there and it's not on the right one, get yourself in trouble. You're withdrawing USD through the ERC. Yes. Do you think we will see 270 again? There's a fair value gap at $2.60. So never say never. Never say never. So there is a possibility for sure. VELO. I'm just gonna put this so I know it was for VELO. And then I have to get the address. So that's how it ends. Always make sure that you remember your address and then you check the last couple letters to make sure that it copied properly. You don't want to have the case where one letter is missing and then all of a sudden you don't get your money. And then have verification so that somebody can't just do it in your name. So now I withdraw, confirm and withdraw. And I want to do the max. Withdraw. Confirm. And now, Julie, can I have the code? Yep. Hold on, everybody. I got 3 layers on this. 46. Okay. Thank you. There we go. It's just that simple. So I just set my request. And now I just have to wait for it to get to the other side. And then I'm going to buy a little bit of additional. I'll tell you guys how much after, once it all comes through and whatever. So, but VELO, I really think that's a huge opportunity. The more it comes out, I think that's rounding. And if you don't know what VELO is, it's so basically how XRP Healthcare is on the XRP ecosystem. VELO is on the XLM, the Stellar network. So if you're a fan of XLM and it's working, this is one of the better ones on its ecosystem. So is SHX. SHX is also a great one. But I like VELO personally. I think in time it's going to be huge. And I think it's going to have a big rounding of the bottom eventually. And I think it's building it. And you can see it's starting to slope finally. Man, there's so much stuff on this chart. I just need to get a different VELO chart if I'm being honest. I'm going to get a different VELO chart. Somebody said it was on KuCoin from the beginning. I wonder if that was a KuCoin chart. No, good. Good. So I can use that chart. So I just wanted to clean it up. But you can see this is already starting to break out some. And you can see it's on that uptrend. It's just hard to map this one out right now because you're making higher highs. Like, it's so hard to do this, though. But you can see a high, a high, a high. So there's resistance there. And you can definitely tell once it gets out of that resistance structure that it's going to make a dent. It's just, where does it get out? And then you start to look at this in a smaller perspective so you can kind of try to get some semblance here of, like, what is the pattern forming? And it's been in this forever, it feels like. Like, it's just been in a little bit of a... It's so hard. It's so hard because this is barely, in my opinion, it's barely moved. Like, it has moved some, and it's kind of in a little channel. So if it comes all the way to the bottom, I mean, so be it. But it needs to eventually break out of this. And it will. In time, it will. It's just when. It's when. And I like to have these because then if it breaks out of this, now that we can see what's forming, you can see where it could end up at. And the first layer over, it could take time. We don't know when it's going to get over that. But even in that sense, you can see this little cup that's forming right here up at about 6.8, swinging around. It's trying to fit. There's so much potential there. But anyhow, back to XRP. It's Saturday morning. It's already been 48 minutes. I need to go to my nephew's basketball game today. I don't know what time it's at. I got to get a hold of my sister. But that's definitely something that's doing today. So I wanted to do a live, at least for now. And you know how it is on the weekends. Weekends are always choppy. So I always do the live in the morning. And then, you know, I try to do a short or something else. But, you know how it goes. So, let's see. Bitcoin's up $459 right now, about $389. It's bouncing around 104, like 104,500. Bitcoin broke out of this short-term consolidation that we talked about how it could be a symmetrical triangle that formed inside the rising broadening wedge. And that a breakout of 99K would get us up to 112,000. So, yeah, there's a lot of optics here. But until it breaks down this, Bitcoin's absolutely still bullish up to 112, and it could bring us to our technical target when the bull cycle started of 122,000 and still maintain itself within the rising broadening wedge. So there's so much potential here in this market right now. It's insanity. And one of the fun, what does that say? Lonzo says if VELO gets TVL trade value locked this year, tokenization of real world assets, then starts cross border payments, it can see through. That's the thing with VELO. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand that. It's got so much potential, and there's so many of you that turned me on to VELO in 2022, I think it was. The price was just surging, and I used to tell myself if it ever gets down, and when it was under a penny, I couldn't believe it. Like, you see some of those, and that's kind of where dreams are made of. You know, when things like that happen, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. But Ethereum, it's been one of the more volatile ones we've seen, but it stayed within the pattern. It stayed within the pattern right now. It's stuck within a wide variety. It's wide right now. And like, you could say it was like this and it's actually in a channel. You could. But I wanted it to force that to us and say that this wasn't a V-shaped recovery if I was going to say that. Yeah, I know it's there. We all know it's there. But I wanted it to prove it. But I can put both of them there. But I wanted it to prove to me that it is not a channel and that was just a V-shaped recovery and that could be a big reversal here. Now, if it comes down there, and it touches that target on the green line of 2774. That was the technical target on the drop down that we started having. It just didn't fill it all the way. So we'll see. Again, we'll see. But there's a lot of potential, and I know that looks sloppy, but when you bring it into the bigger time frames, I did that one over a higher time frame. It could technically still be a rising broadening wedge as well. I mean, a rising wedge. But it looks like it could also, you know, overall, it's a big inverse head and shoulders just waiting to bust out to head first stop 42 or 4,855 because it's definitely working on a massive cup. And in the short term, it put in a cup and handle now and an inverse head and shoulder on the handle. So, and is making higher lows, which is very bullish. XRP, big inverted hammer in the 5 minute, someone said. We need more people getting rich because we got too many glowing. That's true. That's true. That's why I do this every single day, because I believe the transfer of wealth we can be a part of if we do it right. And we have been. Many of you are already a big part of it. I'm trying to make sure that we stay where we need to be with, you know, the information we need to have. It's not easy sometimes with all of the fear, with all, you know, just all the stuff that's going on. Sometimes it's hard to get the message out. It really, really is. Let's see. What's the date today? Okay. The 18th. Okay. So let me go to that 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm looking at a lot of different things. I got a lot of stuff going on today. I mean, it's trying to confirm a golden cross here in the 5 minute. That's for sure. It looks like it could have built some quick inverse head and shoulder here too within that setup. In the smaller time frames, you can see it easier. And we're trying to invalidate that dot cross we had and revalidate the golden cross that we had. 30 minute, got back on top of support structure, at least in the As far as EMA lines are concerned, same thing in the 45. Yeah, we've gotten back on top of this 20-day now, which is nice, and trying to hold. But still a little bit of a... I don't know. We'll see. We're going to have to let this play We're going to have to let this play out. Oh, yeah, Bitcoin. Oh, I almost forgot the heat signature map again. It targeted that 108,000 area just on the heat liquidation map. And it's awesome. Like, we were talking about this for a couple days. Well, now it's been like a week. But when it went down to 89,000, we seen that drop before it happened on the heat liquidation map. And I'd show you one on XRP, but they just don't have one like this. And it wiped out a lot of the liquidity now. I forgot it came up to 106. It already took all that we were talking about. It came up into that area already. I completely forgot. Now we got to go into a smaller time frame. I forgot that it already sweeped 106. I want to invest 2K and I am looking at XLM, XRP, or HBAR. I have 20,000 XRP coins. I am not a trader. I am buying and holding. You don't own any XLM? New bud, no offense. Still cannot see how sending. Then we'll send double back. Newbie here. What do you mean? Still don't know how sending them double. We'll send double back. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Sending who double? Who are you sending double of what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, an airdrop. Okay. I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. It's above my pay grade. I don't talk about that stuff. How to get my VELO off Uphold to my... You can't. You'll have to sell it. The Uphold cut a lot of... I don't think VELO is one of them you can use. They cut a lot of the withdrawal services with tokens, so then they force you to sell and then rebuy it back wherever you were going. Unfortunately. That's just... It's a known practice by Uphold. I don't think it supports it. I mean, you're building a little liquidity up in this section, but a lot of what I was talking about already got wiped out in here. I mean, it literally got wiped out. There's not even that much building below either. We're kind of in a standstill here, it looks like. And for all intents and purposes, we're kind of in a standstill. Oh, yeah, you can send it to Uphold. Guys, I have dark secret. Most exchanges will let you send any token you want to them. It's when you try to withdraw them. You always got to make sure and do your second step of diligence. Just because they let you deposit it, that's just a way for them to get it on the exchange. Then they'll withdraw the services, or, you know, suspend the services to withdraw, unfortunately. That's one of the bad things about some of these exchanges. They do that all the time. All the time. And unfortunately, with Uphold, they have some of the highest fees on the exchange. Probably the highest one. So just to buy and sell it there, if you want to get in and out, it doesn't... It's kind of hard, so... But yeah, I mean, there's some liquidity still building up. But it took out massive liquidity here. And there's not much to the bottom either. It took out all that as well. So it's pretty neutral. We've got a pretty neutral balanced book here. I don't know what Uphold has anymore. I haven't been on it in a long time. I'm just commenting on what can happen. XDC down 10% as well. Holy crap, VELO's down 20% now. That is so crazy to me that it's dropping so hard. I'm happy. I'm happy for opportunities. But that is a crazy drop. Looks like it's just building a handle, though, if I'm being honest. It's just building the handle right now, so we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But I got to get going here, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get going. It's Saturday morning. I got a lot of stuff to do. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. For XRP, just remember, if you didn't catch the beginning or any part of this, it's in this descending pattern. If it breaks out past $3, right now about 21 cents, and it holds that, the technical move would be 344. However, if it breaks down, the target's like $2.85. And remember, there's a $2.60 fair value gap. There's a fair value gap. And to my knowledge, VELO is on uphold. You know, just from what I know. But anyhow, but that rising channel has already broken down. You know, we've broken outside of it. So now we need this to be a bullish consolidation within the flag. Because the truth is, most polls end up creating rising channels so they bust higher if it's meant to go higher. So just be aware of what's going on. That's the optics here. We'll be back. You know, I'll be back with an update soon. So have a blessed Saturday. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Stay humble, show humility,